Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about again the 2023 hurricane season. Again, this is a preliminary video, it's not an official forecast, and I will not be going into my numbers, nor will I be making graphics in this video, but unlike last time, I'll be going more into technicality and models so we can get a better picture. And sorry for not posting for a couple days. Again, I said that I'm getting back into school after winter break. There might be some disruptions, but I should be back to my daily posting schedule soon. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So let's start with the weather models. So we do see looking at the CFS here, and this is not what we're going to be looking at. We are going to be looking at the 200 zonal wind anomaly. So these can interfere with tropical cyclone development. And we are actually going to go to the monthly. Oops, not mean to do that. EPS is, of course, not climatology. Sorry, did it again. Anyway, sorry, let's get started. So we see for February 2023, we do see not much going on, but then again, it is February, so this doesn't really matter, of course. March, April, let's skip to May, right before the hurricane season starts. So we do see a little more interference in the Atlantic, more winds, which will help bring tropical cyclones to the United States, but again, will inhibit tropical cyclone activity. And I will not be going to look at the National Hurricane Center climatology that updated around a year ago. I'm pretty sure I made a video on that earlier in like last year. You can go look for that. The link is not going to be in the description though, but it should be pretty easy to find. And if I did not, you can just go to National Hurricane Center climatology. Anyway, that out of the way, we do see, like I said, this will help bring storms to the United States if any would form, but it would not help them actually form in the first place due to more shear because of these more winds in the main development region. And the reason I just bring up the National Hurricane Center climatology is because most storms form in the Gulf in this region going towards Florida. June, but May, it's same situation. June, not really much going on, not much interference, only in the outer Atlantic. July, we are having less interference in the Caribbean, Bahamas area, so that could help storms form there. Same with August. September, more interference in the southern MDR and southern Caribbean, but less interference in the Gulf, so that will help systems. Pretty much the same situation for October, except it kind of backs off in the main development region. If we look at the 500 height anomaly, which I did not mean to look at, we're going to look at the MSLP anomaly. And for this, we're going to look at the 3 months averages. It's kind of far out for high pressure. For the wind going against each other, that tends to be more accurate and change less. So we went with 1 month for that, but we're going to go with 3 months for this. And sorry for just that noise there. Sorry for any background noise. But moving on, we are going to look at the high pressure system. This is basically what this is. And we're basically saying for May, there is not much going on. The high pressure system is relatively weak. And so that's not going to really help systems go to the United States. But then again, like I said earlier, most systems form in the Gulf anyway during May and June. June, it gets a little stronger, but it's pretty much the same situation. July, we look here, we are going to see that it's a 1,023 millibars average. So more systems will be able to go into the Caribbean, into the Gulf. 1,024 millibars in August and September. Systems will be able to go out to sea into Bermuda, but they'll also easily be able to go into the Caribbean and into the Gulf. And for October, weekends and storm activity starts to calm down. If we look at the 3 months total precipitation anomaly, we see for May, mostly below average precipitation. But August, we can see for the East Coast. And so can we up to October. If we now look at CAN-SIPS for 3 months precipitation, we see May, below average precipitation for much of the area, but not much to look at in terms of precipitation. But we see above average precipitation there for the East Coast and Gulf of Mexico a bit. If we look at the 200 UB wind, we see much less interference in the Gulf and MDR Canned SIPs is less accurate and less specific in these things, but overall they are showing less interference for the most part. If we look at the 3 months MSLP, we see one relatively strong high right now. April, May, we see 1,024 millibars, and around the Azores, same with June, but July is still 1,024 millibars, but it starts to get to 1,025 millibars in August and September, meaning more systems can go into the Caribbean, Gulf, into the United States, Caribbean, etc. And then, of course, that starts to weaken into October and November. So after that, we are going to look at, we already looked at precipitation. We're going to look at SST anomalies, which I actually forgot to look at the CSFS, so we'll go with that in a second. May above average temperatures for much of the Atlantic. That's pretty much all it shows. Now for CFS monthly, we're just going to go back. Pretty much the same situation. Not much to look at there. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Sorry. ENSO forecast. We got our new ENSO forecast. And we see that El Nino has been pushed back. And just a little background information, La Niñas help make Atlantic seasons more active, which of course can mean more systems hitting land. And neutral, while it's still a neutral and go either way, they tend to go more with La Nina to neutrals and as well increase season activity. Sometimes even more than La Nina, but it's a little flip-flop there. And El Nino tends to decrease Atlantic activity but with more shear and less sea surface temperatures, which creates above average seasons in the Eastern Pacific. But we're not talking about that today. If any of you want that, you can leave it in the comments, and I will give it great consideration if enough of you want it. So, yeah, anyway. We see that the last time the ENSO forecast came out, mid-December, we see that El Nino was the highest probability by June. We're going with the middle, the first letter there. So May, actually. So by May, it was expected. So we see, we're going with the middle letter. Sorry. But yeah, so we see that by June, so the beginning of hurricane season, El Nino was the highest probability. And we saw by February, a neutral was expected, but of course, and so La Nina is deepening. Now, again, I'm not going to show the ENSO in this because it's around negative 1.07, and it's going up and down, but for overall, it's deepening, so I'm not going to show that in this video. Due to it's late and I have to get this video out. But anyway, we saw that in June an El Nino was the highest probability. Now it won't be till August. So if we keep pushing this back, we could see for up to the peak or even past a neutral or La Nina in the hurricane season increasing activity. And if we look at the model predictions, we do see that majority of them, the statistical average, is staying in a neutral, which would definitely help with hurricane season activity. If we look at the tropical storm risk center, and by the way, I'm not looking at climate the Colorado State University because they discontinued their December forecast, so sorry about that. But TSR forecast for 2023, they're showing 104 ACE index, which the average is actually 122. They're showing around 3 intense hurricanes, which is the average, 6 hurricanes, and 13 tropical storms. So a little bit below average, but it could be above average, potentially, with the El Nino continuing to be pushed back. Finally, in the video, we're going to look at hurricane chance landfalls. So, this is at least one, the risk of at least one impact from a tropical cyclone at least Category 1 hurricane strength. So, basically, the chance of a hurricane hitting, not tropical storm, just hurricane and above. So, just any hurricane. So, we see that above normal risk for the Texas and Mexico border in western Cuba. Virginia and North Carolina also have above average. Now, for some Caribbean countries, though, like the Yucatan, there is a below average risk. But yeah, we definitely do see a higher risk there of hurricane landfall, so they have to watch out. And so do we in the Gulf Coast and southern Florida, as well as part of the Caribbean, an above average chance of a hurricane landfall, it shows. Same here, Caribbean, parts of the Gulf, the Carolinas, and the southern Florida So definitely the Carolinas, Southern Florida, places like that have to watch out for above average hurricane chances of landfall. Same here, Cuba, parts of Cuba, as well as the East Coast, up to the East Coast, and a little bit of a chance for New Jersey. And even November, up to an 18% chance it shows, above average chances for Cuba and the Bahamas. So they have to watch out too. Anyway, sorry for any background noise. Hopefully I'll get back to my daily schedule soon. Any suggestions, please leave it in the comments. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Have a great night and goodbye.